Hello everyone and welcome to the second office hours for BFO Dynamics. Actually, this is second recording. We had some technical issues with the first recording, so we have to redo. In today's session, we are going to talk about modeling. When we are discussing with clients, usually clients tell us, oh, we want to have 3 reports for sales, we want to have 5 reports for manufacturing, and all is about the reports. And partners also say, okay, we will deliver 3 reports for sales and 5 reports for manufacturing. Now, this is a trap because what clients are always saying is, we have 3 processes in sales that are covered with the reports. And we have 5 processes in manufacturing that we would like to cover with the reports. So it's much better to talk about the model, because when I have a model, this is a sales model, then I can create the report, the experience that users has with any combination of the dimensions and the measures that are a part of the model. So it's important to talk about the model and which measures and dimensions are in the model. Now, why still talking about reports is so popular? It's very clear, because when you have a Power BI and you're using the Power BI desktop for everything, then it's everything in the report. So Power BI, this is example. So this, for example, is connected directly to Business Central, and it's all in one. So what it does the ETL part, so it gets data from Business Central. It cleans the data, does some joins for the staging area, does transformation. We have calculations here, you can see, and visualization part. So Power BI is all in one. Now, this is a very good approach when the project is smaller, or requests are not that big, or data are not that big too. But when it comes to more demanding or more complex transformations with more data, then it's better to have a model that is based on another tool or done differently, and you still don't have to spend a lot of time on modeling. So this is what BFO Dynamics have. So we take data from Microsoft Dynamics, cloud, on-premise, BC, FNO, doesn't really matter, and bring it as fast as possible to data warehouse. Data warehouse is a SQL server database designed for analytical purposes. Here we're running 1000 stored procedures and views that create star schema. Star schema means that you have transactional table, like sales transaction, and connected dimensional tables, customer, item, location, date, company, employee, and on. The engine is great because you can crunch any size of data and create any cover any complexity you want. Now, users would not connect to the data warehouse because transformation doesn't end here, but the data are pushed to tabular database. This is a business or semantic layer where tabular database is in memory and it's highly compressed, 10x. This is very good because then the Power BI report connected to the tabular database will be reading this data really fast and the experience will be great. The tabular database can be hosted in local server, in Azure, or in Power BI. So there are multiple options here. And the BFO Dynamics runs the show, creates the script that do the ETL part, integration part, transformation part, and also the tabular database transformation about DAX expression, hierarchies, and translations. Because it is one tool, it's also designed that all the changes are done instantaneously. Now, you would not start from scratch. And this is BFO Dynamics application, where you can see these are application area, and in the column fact table, we have transactional tables that belong to application area. So for example, sales invoice transaction is one of the 9 transactional tables. And here we can see the contributing tables, how they are connected through this, which columns we are using, selecting from these tables. We have 44 columns. which dimensions and how these dimensions are connected. We have 20 dimensions. And last but not least are DAX expression or data warehouse measures, where you create usually sum, last child, division, and other operation here. There are quite many, as you can see here. That's why it's opening a little more time here. And extended DAX expression, which are supporting time intelligence. So this is all available for the start. And the result is the model that is validated, that is performing well, fast, and the reports have already some business practice. It's more important to have a business practice than to have the specifics. So now I will show you how to do the specifics, where we will do the development of the model. We'll extend the model. Good. This instance here doesn't have any application area and any transactional table. And we could say, okay, we are starting from scratch. That's not true. The most important part already happened before the modeling. And what we did, we hit get metadata. And this get metadata action created two tables. This is our instance. Our instance is called framework, is one of the many data warehouses. And it created two tables, metadata enums and tables. And they are very important. If I run this query against these AX tables, so what I have is, I know exactly everything about dynamics. I know these are the columns for cast invoice trans. I know that everything about the columns are here. I also know, for example, in this case, I also know primary key. That's important to know. And I can run also to show you the table relations. So these are all the table relations. So for example, if we look into a currency, okay, cast invoice trans table field currency code is related to a foreign key, currency table currency code. This helps really, really a lot. And actually these are the brains, and the whole modeling is built on metadata. This helps a lot. Let's see how this is done in action. Good. So we start with creating an application area. We'll go like sales analysis. We'll use sales more. And the experience is the same if we extend the functionality in the standard where we have already built, but this is just going to run faster. Sales transactions, and we are going to select tables. All the tables that are available can contribute the data. We just have to select the right one. Cast invoice trans is the one that we are looking for. These are the sales line, the most popular table. And now to select header, I'm going to use show related table, and it's going to give me a header automatically with the relationships that are already shown before. Remember here this relationship, if I look, show me the relationship for cast invoice, it's already in the model here. That's super important, helps you a great deal. And it connects the data source and company. We will not go too much into the detail. We just want to show that this is a no-code, sometimes low-code tool where you can do a great BI model. Now, first we have to bring in some information from the header. Let's go for invoice date and line amount. See, so actually the hardest thing is to know which one to choose from. They are so all similar, and I'm just fine with these two. And I'm going to bring in the date, and let me just do the whole model, and let me just bring a little more values here. You can see, okay, let's just go wild. All I have to do is click, okay, and everything here is already the measure, so not much can go wrong here. And we have quantities. Don't go to the header unless you know what you're doing. We are in the lines, so this is something that is where you can do easily a mistake. Okay, so we have selected 10 columns, 9 are measures, and 1 date is dimension. Fine. We are fine. Date, we have selected date as a primary date table, and we don't have anything from in this project, but, and this is again specific of BFO Dynamics, and very interesting point is that all these tables are being offered to act as a dimension. And not just that, you will say, yeah, randomly you have all this 20, 30 tables. Not just that. If I select this table, it's going to bring the name the same, but it's going to give me also the relationship between the fact and the primary key. So with selecting, I'm creating dimension table currency based on the table currency and connect it to the fact. Two things in one. It's very good. So let's see what else I can do. So now, once you understand, it's not that difficult. Invent dim, very useful. Invent table, yes, that is our item. It's connected to custom voice trans item ID. Unit of measure, we love units of measures. Sales table with space. How hard do you think this is? Not really hard. And what else shall we do here? Some locations. Invent site location. Okay, let's just do with the location. And worker, employee. Good. We are missing customer. Okay, so let's see where is our customer. This is a cust table. This is going to be customer, and it's build to customer, but we'll just keep it one customer. We can have build to and sell to customer. Good. We can select global dimensions to the header or to the line, and we are going to see our measures. Now, because we have metadata also come in a form of translations. So we are going to change this sales amount, and we are going to delete the translations because that's what you would see. Good. And we are going to click this several times, creating time intelligence measures, year on year, year to day, last periods, rolling or moving averages, and others. This is better. So from one base measure, we can create 52 measures. Let's do also one transactional, one DAX expression, sales transactions. This is a count of sales transactions, and it's going to be sales transaction date, and we just want to bring count into this. So this is a simple DAX expression. It's not a T-SQL, it's DAX, because we are developing now. If I just go here, we are programming this part here. It's same interface. Some parts, which tables we take here, some how we connect data, create indexes, and now it's a DAX expression, simple DAX expression here. Good, we just don't want to have decimals for count. Everything has been done, and we have to save the model, generate the scripts, and run deploy process. Okay. Now we are creating first the schema with a deploy. It means we are creating staging area tables. This is what's creating now. We are creating data warehouse table, dimensional table. You can see this now. We are creating transactional table. It was done in no time. Tabular model. Here is a local one. This is deploy. And now we are processing, pushing data from the source. In our case, it's a local area network, Dynamics 365 on-premise. Automatically create indexes where we need it. Bringing up a dimensional table with the data. Fact is going to be processed. We say processed, pushing data through, and analytical database also. It's one interface. It does different tasks, but it's super simple to understand. So let's see what we have done. We have here one Excel report connected to framework. The instance is framework. This is, let's see, refresh it. And here you have it. Okay. Don't worry about the names. I told already that this is translations. What matters is this guy here. We can see the values. We can see the measures. We can see this by date. We can see the date. And let's see this time intelligence first. Sales amount. You can see 16 measures, 3 measures on period and period, previous period, and other things. Definitely very useful are 12-month moving average because you have swings and so on. This is very useful. So this was done in no time. And what else do we have? Let's observe other dimensions that are available here. Currency, we have only a primary key in a customer. Let's go for item, also not much. Item ID, only sales table. So the base model is there. We have time intelligence. Let's enrich dimensional table with more data. So let's do this part here. This is super simple. It's even simpler than the exercise before. Now we are going to go into the model and we want to bring these attributes here because the sales table has I don't know, 120, 130 columns. So we just want to select a few of them and let's say bring some of them to the customer too. So the sales table is the name of the table and the name of dimension is the same. In real life, this would be document sales order. And what we are going to do, we can first start with some names, sales name and delivery name. It's very useful. Some dates. How hard is this? Not really hard. So adding one attribute or 10 is the same effort. And now, very important part, status. Status are not, here are written as enums, which means as integers. But because we know how the enum is built, our solution will create a text. And this will be visible to the user. In the database, it will run as integer, but in a front-end tool, it will run as a text. So we are good. So let's see what we have selected. Okay, we have 15 columns. They are fine. And we could put a friendly name, but in this case, we are just fine with this. And hierarchy is not in this time. And let's do the same for customer. Let's show a related table customer group because we want to take a name from the table and the table relation is coming. Now I'm just selecting the group because I want to have the name and everything else I will take from a header from the customer table. And these are the group string part here. Just clicking a few of them. And I'm just say cast group name because just having a name would think like customer name, it's not correct. This is all. And now we are going to update both dimensions at the same time. And you can see that 3 parts where we're doing transformation are here available for selection. Staging area, which means get me the data or bring me the new data into. Deploy will create a schema, process will process data, data warehouse, and analytical tabular part here. All I need to do is update. And you can see this is doing really fast. It's executing about 15 to 20 scripts. And let's see what the end result is. So you don't have to know all these things here. What matters is that you have the understanding about this. Here is the customer group code. And let's have a look at the sales table, document sales order. We have sales status. You can see it's invoice. It's not integer, 1, 2, 3. Return status, sales status, and of course, all other information as they are. So now you have an idea how easy or difficult it is to do the modeling with BFO Dynamics. And again, the modeling and the interface, it's all about dynamics. The tables and the columns are so similar that you need to have dynamics knowledge. This is like 10 times more important than if you have BI or SQL knowledge. And because the metadata and the engine that understands the metadata, the handicap of not knowing how to model or how the data are connected goes down because the tool does the job for you. Good. Now the users who were not present at this development will ask you what is about the model. So do you have something about the model, where data are coming from? So in no time, we are going to create documentation. And this is a tiny documentation with one transactional table and 9 dimensions, 44 measures we created. It has only 8 pages. On the model that we have here, it's a really 5-minute model. And let's have a look at the sales analysis. You can see it says 9 dimensions. One is from field. This is a date. We know this. And other are from table. These are dimensions. This is the model described in a very user-friendly format. The connection between the tables, friendly name, and the data warehouse or the model name. Friendly name can be changed. This is coming out of the box. It's not the best, but it is as it is. And here are DAX expression. At the end, here we have also, of course, dimensions, where these are coming from, very simple one, and top table report about the data size and execution time. Now, of course, when you are looking at BFO Dynamics standard model, then the model is a little bigger and it has a way more information. And you can see 12 application area, 50 transactional table, and 150 dimensional table. And if we look into the sales, what you get out of the box here, it's way more. And you can see 9 transactional table, which are working with specific dimensional table. It means this X, and below there are information how the data are connected to, and it goes all the way to dimensions, which are sometimes are super simple. It's like this is there, sometimes are quite complex. So it's all here, user-friendly, searchable, 100+ pages, and each time you do some changes in the model, it will take 60 seconds to create documentation here. Now, this is how BFO Dynamics do it, and this is very efficient. And I would really encourage you to look at BFO Dynamics concepts, because more and more solutions that we are replacing are based on the Power BI, and it is just not that Power BI is not good. Power BI is really good, and we use Power BI a lot, but sometimes it's just not used the right way, and then it looks like changes are not easy to be done, or it's like moving a house for 1 meter and you can do everything. Actually have to drop the house and create a new one. While with modeling tool like BFO Dynamics, you will not have a handicap of growing 10 or 100 times in your model or attending more complex models. You do not have to worry about this part here. Good. So this part was about the modeling, and now we have to look at our pool gap. So if we see, we have some questions. Okay. Every office hours end up with the questions, and these were some of the questions that we have received. Actually, these are all questions that we have received. Do I need a special skills to use this? I would say you need to have some understanding about the modeling, either from ERP or from BI perspective. Definitely beneficial is if you know dynamics, if you know the tables and the column names, it will help you great. Otherwise, it's a two-day training to go through all the situations in BFO Dynamics, but you can start after 4 hours already. Can CRM be added to the modeling tool? Yes, it can be added. It is not a separate model, but it is a module that can be added to Business Central or BI Dynamics for Business Central or Finance and Operation. Can I see how tables are connected in the model? Now, this is a tricky question because you see what is in front end part, which is in, you don't see the whole model because you don't see the tables that are contributing the model and how they are connected in the Power BI, in the PDF. If you go into the model, of course you can, but not from the user perspective from the PDF, but you see from each dimension and measure where it is coming from. So you almost see everything, but not everything. Not that we would hide it, just that we would like to hide some level of complexity in the model. And if you want to see how these are connected, just go to the model and you will see it. How much does it cost? This is more a question for our sales team. So I would just encourage to write an email to sales@BI4Dynamics and they will come back to you. Is there any version of BI4Dynamics which is integrated in Power BI? Okay. So BI4Dynamics is a modeling tool that creates data warehouse and tabular database. And it's not integrated in Power BI, but the end results are Power BI reports. And I think Power BI reports. So actually, we have a solution with which you can write DAX expression. And with this DAX expression, you can send the measures or calculation groups or parameters to the tabular database. I would suggest you to look at the BI4Dynamics YouTube channel. We just had a release of BI4Dynamics write-back functionality. How does BI4Dynamics handles large volumes of data, performance, or scalability? How SQL handles large volumes of data? SQL does it really very well. And BI4Dynamics uses all the features SQL has, or most common features like indexing, column store, temporary table with or without compression, not permissions, but partitions, partitioning. We can use also precision in the data warehouse. You can use 3820 or any other partition that you would precision that you would do. So these all effects handling large set of data. We have a lot of projects with 5 terabytes and more, and the processing time is 4 to 5 hours, running on 32 cores with 512 gigabyte of memory and a really fast disk. So if your data, source data are growing, and if you are hosting BI4Dynamics on Azure VM, it means that from time to time, let's say once a year, you'll have to resize the Azure VM with more memory or more cores, depending what will be the bottleneck. You'll pay more, but that's all. More data, more cost, but no other problems regarding the modeling here. So it's a SQL handles large volumes really well. I think these are all questions from today. I would like to thank everyone for patiently being here. Thank you for watching, and see you on next episode in 1 month. Thank you and goodbye.